Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 139 of Geek Each Week Live. I am one of your hosts, Christopher Long from Long's Toys, and now Long's Bricks. That's right, I started a Lego channel. Please, somebody watch it. I am joined, of course, by my good buddies. Rye, what's up, Rye?
Hello.
We got Corey.
I had no idea you started it.
Really? I told you I did.
Yeah. No, you said, I was going to work on it this weekend. So I didn't know. That was last week. I didn't know when that launched.
Oh, yeah. It was like the day after you gave it to me.
Oh, shit. Okay. Send me the link.
Yeah. Graphics provided by Corey. Thank you very much.
No
and we got Aresol. What's up, Aresol?
Hello.
Let's shout out the chat. We got Edward Tanzer. We got Ryder. We got Jeff. We got Chenix. We got AJMC. We got Mr. Mystic. I love that name. We got Blade Raider. We got Morgan. We got... We got Astra. I have to like pause when I say Morgan because I know it's like a call.
Yeah.
We got Astronat. We got Floof. We got Thrasher. What is up?
Incredible. Outstanding.
How you doing, Thrasher?
Yeah,
glad to see you're
okay.
Glad to see you're joining us again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll go ahead and we'll get into it. So, what did you get, Ray?
Like honestly, this week, all I got was I got a little Glaceon figure, because I wanted to buy something Pokemon related on Pokemon Day, and I got
Pokemon Day just when it came out in Japan for the first time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I like your shirt, by the way. That's cool.
Thank you. I got a Switch Pro controller because I don't know where my first one went.
So like Switch no controller, am I right?
But between a Target discount and like, you know how like you do certain, like you buy a certain amount and it like gives you a point, and if you get all 3 points in the time period, you get like $20 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I had a bunch of shit from that, and so like I ended up getting the controller for like $25. I'm like, I can't complain about this.
Do they do them in like? Is it still black only, or do they do other colors?
Target only had black. They always do special edition ones. Like there was a Xenoblade one, a Splatoon one, the Smash Brothers one, which is the one I have. It's here somewhere. I just don't know where. Unless I left it on like a vacation or something. That's the only way it's not here. But I know recently they had the Tears of the Kingdom one.
Oh, okay.
But it was one of those things like I was at Target, the deal was going on. There was like a 20% off coupon for an electronic item or something.
Oh, nice.
And so like the deal was going on. I'm like, I'll just fuck it.
Remember when they did those Zelda like set of Joy-Cons and everyone was like freaking out, like they were sold out everywhere, and then all of a sudden they were just available everywhere. No one cared anymore, and it was like that was a fun thing that we went through for no reason.
I got Whack-Donald's on the way home today.
What is that?
It's Whack-Donald's.
Yeah, they printed
it's
like
where they
a
jerk
little.
off in your food.
Interesting.
No, that's a Whack-Awful.
That's what the Big Mac sauce is.
You can unlock manga panels by scanning this QR code. If anyone wants.
This is just another one of their random things to reach more markets, like the McNuggets and the other weird adult toys.
Yeah. See, they made all these. Where the fuck are they? They made all these characters, right? One of them is just a fucking robot, which is phenomenal. It's the best one. It's like the Wick Geyser or something.
Oh, that's cool. I like is that the guy with the head of the McDonald's burger?
It's basically like, what if Mayor McCheese had to work.
Mayor McCheese. It's his kid. He has to work at McDonald's.
Little McCheese.
Yeah, Mayor McCheese is on hard times and he can't send his kid to
Yeah,
private school.
this one's a fucking robot. He's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. What is that, like sexy hamburger next to him or something?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't actually really read anything about any of this, but like they had the perfect opportunity to make like little vinyl figures of these bitches in their like adult Happy Meals they like doing.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they still will. Maybe they're testing to see how good
and they
this is.
didn't. And I'm like, I just want a toy of the Robot Man. Like, is it too much to ask? Anyway. Yeah, that's the thing. So, because they're embracing that whole like anime in Japan, just take McDonald's and flip it upside down.
Oh, is that what they do?
Whacked out.
Ah, okay.
And so now that McDonald's is official, I was trying to have a conversation with my coworker today about whether anime can use McDonald's now.
Maybe that's why they did it. They're like, fuck you guys, we're gonna trade it. Or we're gonna trademark it. Now they'll have to turn it. They'll have to 90 degrees. It'll be like McDonald's now.
It's gonna be McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Anyway, last week, I didn't get a whole lot last week either. I got the Dragon Stars figure for Ultimate Gohan because Ultimate Gohan's my favorite version of Gohan.
Nice.
And I didn't have a figure of him, so I'm like, hey, let's go.
Can you remove his arm?
What?
That's History of Trunks Gohan. That's different.
Oh,
yeah, that's different. He'd be wearing Goku's outfit.
Right.
I
think they did one of those. What are the budget ones called? You know what I'm talking about? The $10 ones?
Yeah, I had both of them in my hand. I had the Dragon Stars in my hand, and I had that one in my hand. The more I looked at the cheap one, the more its face started to like freak me the fuck out.
Oh, okay.
And so I put it back down.
That's the cursed one. You got the cursed one in your hand.
Like it looked real bad.
I bought the cheaper version one of Trunks. Yeah. Because it was on Amazon for $7 and I had a gift card, so I ended up getting it for $2. And I was like, I can't beat that. It's actually not bad. Like, he's got the sword, he can actually hold it with both hands, and it fits in the sheath and everything. I mean, for $2, some of those are all right. Those cheaper ones.
Does he come with a pile of Frieza chunks?
No, because it's Dragon Ball Super Trunks, so it's not. He doesn't have the like capsule core.
Yeah, he's a blue-haired weenie. Okay.
Yeah, why did they change? Did they ever say why they changed his hair color and never really explained it?
Yeah, no, they did.
Okay. I always thought that was weird.
Yeah, he was the like platinum blonde, and he wanted to, change it.
What?
Just ignore him.
Okay.
Sorry, I was reading Blade Raider's comment. History of Gohan only wears one of Goku's wristbands, though. It's because he only has one arm. That's insensitive. And it's History of Trunks, not History of Gohan. What's he supposed to put 2 armbands on one arm? It doesn't make any damn sense.
Can't let him go to waste.
He went back to the arm after it was severed. Yeah. He took the wristband off. He's like, I'm not leaving this behind.
The funny thing is they changed Future Trunks' hair color. They didn't change Kid Trunks' hair color.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Because Kid Trunks still had purple, and didn't they recreate some flashbacks? Did he still have purple hair in the flashbacks?
I thought he did.
I don't know. You know what? It just occurred to me. This is totally random, but I know they couldn't. Oh no, never mind. I figured it out. But you know what? Always I thought was weird, and so I guess it's because the timeline's different. But so with History of Trunks, we assume everything up until the androids showing up went the same way, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So they know the Namekians are on some other planet with their own set of Dragon Balls, yet they never attempt to use them to revive anyone.
That's too much work. They got to build a spaceship.
I mean, she built a time machine, but a spaceship is completely out of the question.
Yeah.
They literally built a spaceship to do it the first time.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Future Trunks, I think, is awesome. The whole thing of him with Frieza, that's a great scene. But It always bothered me. I'm like, another set of Dragon Balls are out there. Just go wish Piccolo back and then wish everyone else back, and then you got a fighting chance.
Blade Runner said hair dye exists in DBZ, but it was probably a wish on the Dragon Ball somehow.
The other thing is, the Room of Space and Time probably still exists in their world, right?
Well, the Lookout might have gotten destroyed at that point.
I mean, if they know about it. They killed Piccolo, but they don't know that the Lookout.
I'm sure Popo's still kicking it up there.
Yeah, he's just looking down like, shit, I'm not going down there.
Anyway, what spurred that purchase was the fact that at the same time, I found one of the theme decks for the new Dragon Ball card game. And I just have this tendency of buying starter decks for every card game that comes out and then never playing any of them.
Yeah.
It's sleeved up, though.
Chris is bricked up. You're sleeved up.
Yeah. That's got to be a name of a YouTube channel already, though, right? Like
sleeved up.
Sleeved up.
If not, it's about to be.
Yeah. Chris, I got a third channel for you.
No, I want it for me. Sleeved up with Shuki.
Chris is going to be long sleeved up.
No, I like sleeved up with
long
Shuki.
Sleeves. Hey, Floop got it.
That's so funny.
And then I got come here, you stupid bitch. I got this thing in the mail.
Oh, wow.
He's big and dumb.
Yeah, that's thinner than I thought it would be.
He is big and dumb and okay.
Wow, that's the title of my autobiography.
Big, dumb, and okay.
Okay.
I like it for what it is. It was probably should have been cheaper, but most things should be.
Yeah.
Azure said Toriyama probably just forgot what his hair color was, and no one felt brave enough to correct him. The thing is in the manga, his hair was always blue.
Well, I was going to say, Toriyama was probably just like, I don't even want to do this anymore, but you keep throwing checks at me that I can't say no to, so I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want, and I don't care.
All right, that's it.
All right. Not too much this week. I guess this is really. I just got 2 Lego sets. I bought a lot of Lego sets yesterday because I went to Walmart and like everything's on clearance. I did a video.
Walmart. I was at my Walmart and their clearance section sucked ass.
Well, it's funny because I went to the clearance section first and they didn't really have anything there because they have like an aisle that's like clearance for the whole store, and it's just all kinds of random shit. And I don't think they had any toys there. Well, no, they still have those McFarlane Superpowers Superman cars that they refuse to mark down. They have like 20 of them. And I'm like, okay, so these have sat around for a while. You want to try to mark them down again? And they're just like, no, they'll just sit here forever. I'm like, okay, I'll see you at Ross later. Then I went to the actual Lego aisle and they had like a ton of stuff. I did a video about it today on my other channel where I listed out everything that's on clearance, but it was a lot of stuff. But this one I got from Barnes & Noble. I had ordered it a while ago. It's an older set that's retired now, and they still had it. So I ordered it from them, and then it went to back ordered. And I was like, that's not a good sign because how are you going to get more of them because it's retired? And then it shipped, and here it is. So I was surprised about that. And then this was a set that Lego.com had on clearance. So I got this too. Speaking of Dragon Ball, this is... the Monkey Kid line is based off the same. Is it a proverb or story or whatever we're calling it that Dragon Ball is based off of? Well, is it just like a
Journey to the West?
No, I know what it's called. I'm saying what would you categorize it as? Like, is it just an old fable or a? I don't know.
I'd probably call it a fable. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fable seems like a good. Good word.
But yeah, I think that's it. I'm just sitting over here waiting for HLJ to charge me for Boom Boonger stuff so I can They can ship it.
So you can go boom.
He wants to get that boom boom now.
I don't have anything, but I will play a little something. I tried to mesh those a little better, but it didn't work.
You know, I put it in, and I was just looking through. I'm like, oh, where'd it go? I just put it in there.
I moved up the list.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, okay. I got some stuff. I bought from stores that what?
I'm still just playing the boom boom thing in my head. I don't get it.
If you want, I mean, you don't need to play it in your head. We can just play it again for you.
I don't need to see it again. That's fine.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I do.
I like how grand the explosion is.
Why did they do that? Like, what was the point?
Have you never just seen Gibby fucking die?
Yeah, I saw Gibby fucking die. Like, I get
He's talking
that.
about the stage.
I'm talking about the stage show. Like, why did he
Oh,
fall off so perfectly?
I don't know any of it, so I just
Yeah.
see this weird thing and a guy explodes and this look at.
Yeah. Also, that music doesn't run for long enough, so I had to rip the song from something else and put it in to like fill the rest of it. Otherwise, it would have been
That's-
jarring.
Oh, you want to make
That's a lot
sure
of-
we get that copyright.
That's
Okay.
right. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So, anyways, no, I bought shit from places that I do not recommend buying shit from. There are companies out there that are notoriously awful for you to purchase from, like drop shipping sites. But they had there a knockoff that I wanted a lot, and they were also running a sale. Like if you buy this, you get some stuff free. So I got like this thing for drawing. This like drawing. What do you
Bro,
call it? Yeah, but mine
Oh,
was free.
You got a gambit glove.
but mine's
Oh, yeah.
cooler.
Yeah, yours is probably official. Mine, honestly, I feel like it was probably cut off of a morph suit or some shit. Like, just. And also, I should probably go watch this. But the main thing I wanted to get.
I don't need to hear about that.
Yeah, there's this model kit of the Gundam Aerial that is all the main pieces, but in red, and it's like I can't tell. Yeah, it might be like a painted like metallic red, or maybe it's just what the part is.
If it's red, I'm surprised Target hasn't tried selling it here.
Oh, I know. Well, it's a knockoff, so.
That won't stop them.
It even has the that mold-in plastic piece. So I am really excited to put this together. There was a purple one that was running around that I saw on Prime 92's channel, and that's how I knew that it was on. It was on Temu. That's where I bought it from. But then I learned that they're actually
Gave
on
the Chinese
AliExpress.
all of our
So,
secrets. Thanks a lot.
yeah. You're welcome. Yeah, my secrets. Yeah, and the instruction manual has just regular Arial on here. So, but this is not Arial. It is FL09. I don't know I don't know how many other Floridas are out there, but this is the 9th one. I also got this like mechanical display base, general MS hanger and maintenance stock.
General Kenobi.
You disappoint me.
You hang your shirt up, and Corey said, "Hello there."
I also got this, which is not immediately identifiable, but this is like a foam block, and these are stakes with alligator clips at the ends of them, so you can easily hold your painted items. It's for like painting and customizing kits and stuff. So I thought that would be helpful. I also got this joint strengthening pen that you put on your figures, and it's supposed to strengthen joints. I'll be using that
I
on
use it
something
on
that
myself.
isn't. Yeah. You know what? My knees have been
Yeah, I
going
was gonna
out
say I'll try it
recently.
on my knees and let you know how it works.
I've wanted to go on a marathon recently, and I gotta get my knees up to shape.
If you're going on a marathon, put some of it on your nipples too.
What if I just cut holes out instead?
Yeah, let him breathe. Yeah, that's true. I never thought about that, but that might solve it.
Sorry, that was a.
Corey
what is
decides
it?
not to wear a shirt, and he just pins the number to his chest with safety.
Chris, you don't remember the what was it called, the Impractical Jokers episode where they had him like cut out nipples on his shirt and go to that interview?
I don't know if I saw that one. I remember they did that
okay.
in Mean Girls. They did that, and then everyone started
Oh,
doing
wow.
it because they thought she was influential.
That might have been where he got it from. But another place that I bought from was AliExpress, and this was honestly a lot more successful. I will show you the least successful items though, because they are a lot funnier looking. You know me, I love clone troopers, and AliExpress had a lot of clone troopers. I'd say out of about like I bought like over 75 clone troopers from them. And I'd say about like 25 of them weren't in the greatest shape, and they all happen to be like the more popular legions. So here is the shock trooper. There we go. His mouth's all fucked up, and it's in pretty bad.
I can't even tell.
Oh really? Here, we'll show you another one. Here is a 212 trooper.
That I can tell. Yeah.
So these guys kind of suck.
That guy's making like a
Yeah,
face.
which is I love it.
That's the
and
old
then
grumpy member of the unit. They
Yeah.
accidentally aged him too long, so he's like 20 years older than all
They
the rest of
left
the
him in there
clones.
too long.
He needs
And
joint
then
strengthener.
some 501st ones.
Those are all right.
Their helmets bow out this way a little too much, but there are some really good ones. So every single 501st, 212th, and shock trooper that I got, they were all part of like a similar bad batch. So they weren't good. Yeah. But what did turn out well was one of these guys, or all of these guys. I think this is a landing platform trooper. I get these mixed up all the time. Either this guy's a landing platform trooper or some other one. Oh, this guy. Come on. Oh, no. I also got the purple guys. So these are all based off of the antenna mold. These guys look really good. It's got like a metallic purple paint on him on the shoulder pad, which is accurate. Love this one. Let's see. I also got. I got basically one of everything that wasn't like a named guy. Like they had legions of just Commander Gree, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with just one of the same guy? But this is the sort of Target exclusive deco on a antenna mold body. So that one doesn't technically exist officially. I got a bunch of Shadow Troopers. This is an Utapau one. And then this one was like the deco's slightly different, so that's why I wanted to see which one I liked the best out of the two. So I only got a few of those, but I made sure to get 50 of the just regular plain white clone troopers, and they turned out beautifully.
How many?
50.
You heard right.
Okay.
Yeah, that was correct. Yeah. The only issue is that
You bought 50 of them? Yes, we know.
The only issue on these guys is that the shoulders, these joints, and then the ankle joints are a little yellowed, and I'm not quite sure how that occurred. Because, like, you take a look at these guys, and these shoulders are perfectly white. So I don't know what went wrong there. Thanks, Chris. Let's see. So really, ordering from AliExpress is a bit of a crapshoot for clones. Thankfully, I figured 50 is enough of a sample size. But I got
four times as much.
Yeah. I got a decent amount of troopers. And then I also I got those last week, but I was still cleaning them because they came from Chinese factory. And let's see. I ended up getting a few more ARC troopers, just because I was filling out those ranks. I also got, where's the other one? Someone was selling 2 Captain Fordos, and basically one was phase 2 and one was phase 1. Okay. Here is my phase 2 Fordo, and this is like the older TVC one. And this is the phase 1 Fordo. His gun is somewhere. Oh no, it's right here. He's just posed like he's holding it. But yeah, I got these guys because I needed some Fordo, and I don't know that I 100% like these exactly how they are, but might be decent bases to customize off of. So yeah, a lot of troopers. That's it for me. All right. Let me get the news ready. I forgot. I didn't look at the chat recently. Oh yeah.
Everyone's talking about the amount of troopers we got.
50 of the white troopers, and I'd say about 5 of each other legion, and then for the 501st and
so many of the white troopers. That's racist again.
Hold on. Sorry, still pulling up the news. Hey, check this out. Ooh, we got it. We got the news going.
Ooh, we got the news.
Yep. Hey, Soda Pop, 8 ounce. We actually got the reveal of the whole Boon Boomger Super Mini Claw thing, and it comes with these standees of the characters. I don't know. I mean, some people may consider this a value add. Some people are just probably going to toss them out. It's up to you. It's new. It's neat that they include them. But it's also very like, the news of those little standees came with like, hey, the base figure is made up of like 4 whole boxes, and then the rest of these 2 guys are the other 2, and this is like the most, from what they think, they said it's like the most boxes it's ever taken to put a mecha together in wave 1. But if you're just ordering the whole set anyway, it's like you're paying the whole thing anyway. They did apologize though, because it's all the tooling costs and all the everything to get the steel nodes and whatnot. But this looks good. It even recreates the I don't know what mode to call it, but like the legs out mode where you can push the cars through. Don't laugh. It's the leg.
Put your legs out to the side and insert the cars.
Legs out mode.
It will not open each of the cars when you push it through, but they will all fit through the hole. And they said all subsequent releases will fit through the hole.
Blade Raider called it birth mode.
Spread your legs and fit through the hole.
Now it does look
Boom,
good.
boom.
I'm just bummed that HLJ already has an order stopped. I was as soon as they announced it, I was checking like every hour, and then I don't know if they did it overnight or what, but I went to check and it was there and it was already order stopped. I was like, damn it.
Mm-hmm. Also, there are parts to turn this into just the robot on its own without the arm swaps. So that is available to you if that's how you would like to display this, or if you
Well,
want
isn't it just the robot and you just don't attach the other two? Because it looks like the other ones just clip onto the forearms of the robot.
I think it said something about other parts, but that either might have been mistranslated or I might be misremembering. But I thought they said something about extra parts or something, but I could be wrong.
Is that the mode for Bundonio Bunderas?
Yeah, Bundonio Banderas.
Yeah, so this is neat. Buy it or don't, because HLJ doesn't have it
I was
anymore.
gonna say, buy it if you can find it somewhere that'll ship it to you.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Kamen Rider news. Was there there was Kamen Rider news.
Yeah, you missed it.
Look at this.
Okay.
Old guy.
Look at him.
I thought we already talked about this form though. Or no?
The
We're talking
form
about
we
the
did.
form, not the toy.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is how
We
you
didn't-
get to the form.
We didn't talk about this little space hopper. Look at him. He's ready to go on an adventure.
Aw.
He's fucking adorable. I don't know if he's adorable enough for me to buy it, but he's fucking adorable. And he sits in the front of 10-liner like he's driving it. Little
That's true.
choo-choo engineer man. I'm proud of him.
You can also
went-
achieve the same effect by just jamming something in 10-liner that keeps the button pressed down.
Also correct. But this one's cute.
You might be able to use tape.
But yeah,
I guess we're stuck here.
oh, that's true. You can't advance the slide.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I mean, unless you kick him and somebody else presents the news.
Could easily do that.
Corey's like, shit, they figured out my powers. Not as strong.
Hey, I guess technically you can consider this a gimmick item for your KingOver store.
So yeah, they're like, we're doing the memorial Oja Caliber. And I'm like, cool. And then they're like, but you have to buy all this extra shit if you actually want to use it. I'm like, that seems not great. Why did we do it like this? So does it have like a base amount of phrases without these, and this is just more
I
of them?
assume so. Yeah, and then these give it the data for like their phrases, maybe some music, and like other shit.
Memorial Edition DLC.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I'm not buying it to begin with, but this is weird.
I feel like I will probably get the sword at some point when it comes out, just because I fucking love KingOver. I don't know if I give a fuck about any of these. Like they're just voice phrases I don't understand. So
Yeah.
like the background music is cool. Like I dig that, but I don't think I'm gonna buy a set of 5 little chips just for some background music that I can listen to on Apple Music.
Is it a full set of 5? They're not sold individually?
I believe you can get them individually, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I thought like Ranger Board or someone that was tweeting about these said that you could get them
Okay.
individually.
I mean, again, I'm just curious. I'm not buying them.
All right. Moving on. Oh wow. You
Yeah,
really
this was
bunched up
cool.
This slide.
Yeah, they.
Yeah, because you only put this and none of the new forms.
Well, here they are.
You know, the interesting shit from that
Yeah.
Yeah. The part people care about, the cool new outfits.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool new outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kyoryu Red gets a new form. And then in that same special, Kuwagata Oja gets a new form. And then in the Dawn Brothers episode, they basically swap gold armors
Yeah.
Yeah.
as new forms, which is pretty cool. And then we got bad guy Kuwagata man over here in the corner, which is a really awesome looking suit.
Another Kuwagata.
That's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah.
That honestly should have been what the founder of Shugatum looked
Right.
like in his
Yeah.
transformed state, because his
Yeah.
did not look very good.
They learned, they're like, oh, we need to make this look significantly fucking cooler.
Also, and I was talking to you guys about this. I wonder, because in those trailers, we saw all the King Ogers in very different spots than they were at the end of the show. And I'm wondering if we are teleporting to or going to Prince's alternate future timeline, if that's a thing.
I mean, maybe.
I as interesting as that would be, I thought I read somewhere that there's a synopsis of it maybe not being that, but
Okay.
That is also what I read.
I see. No, that's fine. I was just going off of the images because I don't know Japanese.
Oh, so yes,
Yeah, it's cool.
Galen mentioned it, but they got back pretty much everybody for this. Actor wise, we know it's the core 6 plus Yayoi, and then the spirit dudes are going to be in it, and Silver was there, right?
yeah,
Was Silver in that lineup? Okay.
all 10 of the
Okay, yeah. Whether they actually make an appearance or if it's just a student appearance, who knows? But
I wouldn't bet on it.
yeah, Torin's pretty easy. It's already an outfit, but the other two is questionable. But
Yeah,
we'll
I'm
see.
sure the spirit guys will probably just show up as the suits.
Yeah.
We'll
But
see if Gray's decided to be bald or have hair again.
Was it the actual spirit versions of those suits, or was it the ones?
I thought it was, because I thought Gray looked like it had the gold metallic chest, and for some reason they stuck Cyan almost with the King Ogers. He was tucked away past the Kyryugers. I'm like, what are you doing over there? And it looked like the larger male body one. I couldn't tell you for sure, but
okay, interesting.
Just
also, it looks like Carnival's pieces are just all over the place now. Prince's main suit is his undersuit, and then 2 versions of the chest armor are on King and on
Yeah,
King.
and the King Ogers are all using the different arm.
Yeah, that's wild.
Parts.
It has been fully harvested. Also, King straight up just has a new blaster, and none of the promotional items that we saw for this,
it's like the colors are inverted.
Yeah, something like that, or there's red added to it or something.
Yeah.
But there is a Spider Kumonos gun item that has all the Kyoryuja paint on it, and I didn't catch a glimpse of it at all in the trailer.
They're like, we're not going to bother to repaint this other thing. We'll just repaint this instead.
That'll give Kuwagata Oja his new form. I'm 90% sure.
Oh, I see.
Makes sense.
Right.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually repaint the Memorial
Oh,
Gabba revolver
absolutely
that
they
they're
will.
doing.
They're probably going to do that, and I'll be sad about it because I think his new version of the gun looks really fucking cool.
It does look cool.
Yeah, it does.
They'll probably sell it in a set with the red version of the sword he used in the show,
Ooh,
just to completely
kinda
gouge you.
yeah. Gouge me. I don't care.
Okay.
I fucking love KingOver. I love KingOver. Gouge me. I don't care. Do it.
We good here?
Do it, cowards. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Hey, speaking of KingOver,
speaking of gouging me, let's go.
This is how they get my money. I mean, literally since the first one came out, I've been begging and pleading for more of these to happen, and it looks like they are finally.
And here's the easy one for them to do.
Yeah.
And we also have
What'll
this set as well.
Good.
Yes.
We'll take a look at the combined stuff in a bit, but there are these two separate sets?
So they're Tobaspinos together, and then those four together in a set.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
They are the Western combo and Kung Fu combo set.
I see.
Full action.
I get the Western combo at Carl's, and I get the Kung Fu combo at
Panda Express. Delicious.
Yeah. But it does all the things that you think it's gonna do. Looks neat.
God, I love this full action shit. Just one, do all of KingOver, and two, just do more. Like
start co-opting the ones they did over here, like the Ammonite and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was talking about just more main robots, but.
Yeah,
honestly,
sure,
if we want to go that route.
If they, because me and Corey were talking about it the other night, like I've said this before, but I still think they could do Terra Gordon and make it combine. I mean, certainly he could use the other arms; that would be no problem. But I think you could, because the old one had 4 clips on the back, and this one only has 2. But I'm like, it uses the T-Rex tail as like a tripod, so even with just 2 clips, I think you'd be fine. Plus, they're all significantly lighter because they don't have electronics and things in them, so. And all you'd have to do for the head is just make a new head and pop this one off the ball joint and pop one on that has the pterodactyl on his head.
Yeah.
So I feel like they could pull that off. If you made Plesion, obviously it could transform. I just don't, and it could use the arms again, but I don't think it could combine because he doesn't have any clips on his feet, which kills pretty much the other 2 transformations, which is a bummer, but I don't know. Unless they make some kind of thing to clip onto the feet so that it has clips. I don't know. Or maybe they could just sell you now those T-Rex feet. They do pop off, right? Because they came off in the box.
Yes.
They're on ball joints too, so they could just pack in new T-Rex feet. I guess that is possible. If they when you buy Plesion, they just put in 2 new T-Rex feet in that box, and then you just have to pop a bunch of ball joints, and we're ready to go.
Blade Raider was basically asking what this was. So in KingOver, they made a new Kyoryugen to go with the tie-in thing that happened in the show. That's all like posable and shit. And then they just didn't do anything else after that. So this is just more stuff for that line that's now premium because they can do that. But yeah, so that's what this is. It's not necessarily cheaper. Though I believe it was cheaper because KyoryuGen had electronics, so he wasn't that cheap when he came out. Plus inflation. But.
And as yours said, watch them just make a whole new Gavatir with clips. I mean, they honestly could. It would be like when they did the new version of the red
Oni Taijin?
Yeah.
When they made the new.
Just the new core that could sit down.
Yeah.
But then wouldn't you argue that you'd then need to make a new Tobaspino?
No.
I know he doesn't.
Tobaspino doesn't need to combine with anything else.
Yeah.
Fair. But you
also, Bunpaki has an actual fucking chain.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Which is kind of neat.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm excited for these. I'm really hoping that eventually Amazon Japan puts up links for them, but they probably won't because they don't link anything anymore. They don't sell any products anymore. I don't know what's going on with Amazon Japan. It's very frustrating.
All right. Pokemon.
They fucking threw us for a goddamn fucking loop.
Who's ready for some za?
Hey.
It's just Pokemon pizza delivery service.
Yeah, so everybody was expecting one of maybe two things, and the Pokemon company said, psych!
It's extra hilarious when there was so many Johto related things throughout the entirety of the presents.
Yeah.
And then they're like, bam, Kalos, fuckers!
The presentation was very Johto heavy.
The presentation was Johto heavy. The last DLC was Unova heavy, and that's the next games I would get, like remakes or whatever.
Yeah. Just to be clear, though, to anybody like expecting remakes, they do those at minimum every 5 years.
Yeah.
That's the shortest amount of time between remakes. The longest amount of time has been 7. So not going to happen anytime soon. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was expecting a Legends game. I was expecting a Legends game based on Unova, to be honest.
Yeah. And even recently there was some rumors going around about a Legends game based on Johto.
Yeah.
And yeah, they decided, hey, you know what? About 10 years ago, we trademarked Pokemon Z, and we totally forgot to use that.
Let's add an A.
But I loved Kalos, and I thought it was kind of a bummer that we never got a third game.
It really bothered
me. We never got any sort of update for it. So to have it be a Legend style game, I'm all for it. It sounds so cool. It seems like, and we don't have a lot to go off of, which is why there's no fucking pictures here.
Yeah.
But it seems like the development of the city is a major thing for this, which was a nice little treat, I guess. If you like did all the side missions in Legends Arceus, you could see Jubilife Village get a little bit bigger and a little bit more lively, which was neat. But I like that this seems like that might be the main focus. And Lumiose is a good city to do that with, because it was already large for what it was. So expanding it like could genuinely be a pretty massive city.
Yeah, because like they did a tweet, and they basically said like, join us in this game that takes place entirely in Lumiose City. And people are like, what? It's only in Lumiose City? This is gonna be boring. Lumiose City's so small. Bro, they're not gonna make it small. Like, first of all, get the idea of Lumiose City in the 3DS game out of your head. There's limitations.
Not to mention, Lumiose City at the time was the biggest we had gotten.
Yes.
And even compared to some of the ones we have now, it's still like pretty expansive.
Yeah.
For what it is.
So like, because like in my head, I'm envisioning if this takes place entirely in Lumiose City, and we don't do the whole like, you're in Jubilife, you go to the gate and pick where you want to go kind of thing. If we are entirely open world in Jubilife or Lumiose, I'm picturing something that's very like GTA, Yakuza, Spider-Man, just like a huge ass city for you to go around and do stuff in. And that, with like the combination of like Pokemon walking around and catching Pokemon in the city, is just really fucking exciting. Like,
and Pokemon
could be great.
Pokemon Legends is the perfect kind of game to do that with, because Legends doesn't have to be like the main series games.
Yeah,
you can you can experiment with it.
Yeah, we don't need to do gyms or badges or anything like that.
Case in point, yeah, we didn't need gyms or badges in the first one. I don't think we need it in this one.
Mm-hmm.
But also, they did not go in order, which has gotten a lot of people talking about how they skipped Unova. They didn't fucking skip anything.
Yeah.
Legends doesn't have an order. There's only one game.
Yeah.
It's, if anything, this shows that they're willing to like bounce around.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you had gotten a Legends Johto, would you be saying that they skipped Hoenn?
Yeah, because you're going backwards.
They would have bounced around anyway. Just, I don't know. Pokemon fans are frustrating.
Pokemon fans are very fucking frustrating.
But
it's not limited to just Pokemon fans.
Yeah, that's true. But no, I think Legends is the perfect game to do like an open world city game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like you said, there's plenty of games where that has worked like super well.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Right.
Like that's
like
not.
It's not a new concept.
It's not a foreign concept. Yeah. And if the little depiction of the top-down depiction of Lumiose that we got is any indication, it does look like there's probably going to be a lot in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
but I also wouldn't necessarily rule out being able to go off into different instanced areas, like with the previous game. It might just not be the main focus,
right? And like, even if you don't, I have to imagine you could probably leave Lumiose and like just be on the outskirts of Lumiose. Like, I don't think that's far-fetched of an idea.
That's 100%. It's what I was thinking of. I saw people saying, "Oh, they skipped Unova." Was thinking back to the time when Megaforce was announced, and people said they skipped Gokaiger. So,
yeah,
bitch, Gokaiger comes after Goseiger.
Yeah, they hate people.
But yeah, this is exciting. This was literally on no radar.
This was not in any of the rumors at all, ever, and I love that.
None of the rumors, and like none of the, I guess, assumptions is what you'd call them. Like people have been wanting Legends Unova, but there really hasn't been like rumors for it. It's just, hey, there's a lot of Unova stuff in Arceus and in the DLC for Scarlet and Violet. It makes sense to do a Legends Unova. But when has the Pokemon Company made sense with the things that it does?
Absolutely never. So
I mean, just look at the title of this thing. Z to A is a weird title. You could have just called it Z and no one would have cared.
Like, I'm looking at this game, I'm like, this is some Kingdom Hearts title going on here. And Adam Prem says, do you think they'll do the war that AZ talked about? See, here's the thing is, a lot of people are like, Legends, it has to take place in the past. No, it doesn't. Two, okay, so Loxton put out a video that was very focused on this could be happening during about 18.
And it's alchemy.
Yeah, it's always alchemy.
If you watch his videos, you know.
God, I forgot the exact time, like late 1880s, 1890s, somewhere in that time frame, because that's when the Eiffel Tower was being built.
Yeah, there's a lot of work being done in France.
Which it's definitely a possibility, but like the entire trailer, everyone was wearing like modern day clothes. The people that we did see in like the blueprint people, for lack of a better term, all had like modern day clothes. The city looked robust as it was. I really do feel that like the reurbanization project or whatever they called it is very much a like this was Lumios and X and Y. We want to like redo this city to like the whole point was to make the city a place where like people and Pokemon coexist freely, and like original Lumios was just like all city. And so like I'm assuming we're gonna see like not necessarily lakes, but like man-made lakes, parks, terrain that we could have in a cityscape. But I don't think it's gonna be set in like the 1880s. I think we're gonna be set a couple years after X and Y's timeline, so I don't think we're gonna go back to the war or anything like that. But
I'm expecting probably more modern.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. I take Legends just to mean like could be any time. We don't have to like follow
they all don't have to be
like
in
the current timeline. But at the same time, like if it is in the past,
yeah, I
that's
don't
cool.
care.
That's
Go for it.
Totally an interesting idea. I mean, hopefully, even if it is like modern, that can still mean that we get like maybe Kalos forms or new megas would be good.
Yeah, like we didn't even talk about this, but megas are coming back.
They're coming back, yeah. I do think it'd be a huge missed opportunity to not add more.
Especially because, like, assuming they use the Kalos starters and not a random batch of starters like they did in Arceus, none of the Kalos starters have megas, so like it's their time to shine. Greninja like cheaped his way into a mega, but it's not a mega, so they could do it.
And we have 3 more generations of Pokemon to be like kind of picked from.
Yeah,
in here and stuff from the past that they could bring back as well.
Lots of possibilities that I'm skeptical on because I don't want to get my hopes too high.
And this kind of confirmed as of now, no new game this year.
This is coming out in 2025. So 2024 is our first year without a mainline Pokemon something.
In like
a very long time.
Maybe close to a decade.
Yeah. Which, given the quality of recent stuff, give them time. Let them cook. Let them take time and make like a really fucking solid experience.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Sean about this sometimes. I think he actually just fucking posted it. I think we could see this release on Switch 2 if Switch 2 does indeed come out in 2025 like it's supposed to. I could definitely see that happening. Like definitely not like making it exclusive to the new console because I think that would shoot him in the ass. But having like a Breath of the Wild, like you can get it on Switch, or you can get a prettier version on the Switch 2 or whatever they decide to call it. Like that would be a pretty decent system seller for a lot of Pokemon fans, I think. So
I mean the Switch launched with a Zelda game and Pokemon is a big seller, so it makes sense to launch with something like that.
Like I'm definitely down for that. So just so many cool possibilities that we have an entire year to sit with. Hopefully the batch of news is not as like it doesn't take as long to get there because like I want to see something
True,
soon.
true.
I want to see something real soon, but we'll see.
And the other thing.
Whoa! I forgot you could put GIFs in this.
I learned how to put a GIF in here.
I didn't know what was going on.
So the beginning part of the direct was the like Go stuff. They're doing a promotion with the new Horizon series that's been out in Japan for like a fucking year. Just release a simuldub or a simulsub. Come on.
Yeah.
But I digress there. Like Cafe Remix, Master ZX, like they were blazing through that. I'm like, oh, they're really getting to the good stuff. So like all that stuff's going on for all the mobile games. But then they announced this, which so Pokemon TCG Pocket it's a collector focused TCG app. That is basically Corey, you did that Star Wars one, right?
Yes. Yeah, I did.
It reminds me a little bit of that. Like it says you open 2 packs per day at no cost. So you get like 2 free packs every day. Obviously you're going to be able to buy additional packs because they got to make money off the app.
At least you get to play an actual game with this.
Right. And so here's the thing is like the Pokemon TCG has Pokemon TCG Live. That is their online client. It follows the rules of the standard format. There's a truncated expanded format in there that no one fucking plays. But in terms of playing the game in a digital space, it's always TCG Live. Problem being TCG Live sucks ass. It's a terrible app. It doesn't work half the time. They break it all the time. It looks ugly. It is real fucking bad. And so then they announce TCG Pocket. And they're like, this is a new mobile game developed by Creatures, which is one of the companies that owns Pokemon. And they are the company that's in charge of making the card game itself. So the people that make the fucking card game, and then DNA, which is the people that make Pokemon Master ZX, like together to make this game. So it's like, okay, so TPCI is over here making the shittiest card game client ever. Like just sort of spinning their wheels, doing absolutely fuck all. Meanwhile, the actual Pokemon like card creators over here going, let's just make a new game. And and so here we are. It is like I said, a collector driven app. So like the game aspect of it kind of comes second to collecting the cards. So like as you can see with the GIF of the Charizard EX, like the cards when you view them have like a 3D effect to them.
Yeah.
Part of the trailer was like in the full art cards, like the Lapras and the Moltres that I put on here, like you can jump into the card and it kind of like travels through a scene.
You can see like an expanded artwork, which is really cool.
Is super neat. The amount of like new artwork in this is super cool. A lot of it is cards that you can have physically, but like the Moltres, the Lapras, the Meowth, I believe that Charizard art is also all new. Like there's so much new art in this game made strictly for it, which is really cool. But the most interesting thing is that much like something like Cardfight Vanguard Zero, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, games like that, the game portion of this does not follow the rules of the actual card game.
Oh,
yeah, it's been trimmed down, right? It's
at the core it's still energy, attack, do damage, knockout, etc. But like the concept of prize cards are gone. You just get points instead of taking prize cards, which is lovely. Prize cards are the stupidest mechanic in a card game I've ever seen. That is a tangent I will go on for a very long time. Apparently, like we don't know for sure, but you don't have energy cards that go in a deck. Like you have an energy zone. that will probably generate energy every turn, kind of like how the One Piece card game system works, and Shadowverse for that matter. So like every turn you'll get like some amount of energy, and you can probably attach one per turn as normal. And then there's cards that will let you do more energy and stuff like that. So that's an interesting aspect of the game too. And like bench space went from 5 to 3. It's a lot of cool things to make it a very fast, intuitive experience, because Pokemon's not a slow game by any means, but like on live you could still be looking at 20-25 minutes if you're playing a game sometimes, and this feels like it's a very quicker, like, oh, I'm sitting like at lunch, I can play a couple games of this real fast.
Similar to how Marvel Snap works.
Yes.
Where it was like get in, get out kind of.
Yeah, nope, for sure. And like I said,
are you guys thinking about getting that?
This?
What?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's probably free.
Oh, I mean,
But
like,
yeah.
are you guys gonna like?
I'm absolutely going to be all over this.
I'll try it.
Okay, because it
One-
looks like fun. I might, you know. I'll
Yeah,
play
like-
with you guys.
One, I absolutely love Pokemon. I don't play as much anymore because I'm usually always working or judging. Sometimes simultaneously. And it's like I don't get to play much anymore, and I just don't fuck around with live. I think it's a terrible fucking client, so I just don't bother playing it. And it's like this, having new art to collect in a digital space, I don't have to spend money on it to get new cards, which is cool. I'm sure I'll probably throw some bucks at it here or there, just because I'm me and that's what I do. But yeah, no, I'm all for something like this. I have felt that the TCG as a game has been stale for a long time, and it's the fact that nothing has evolved in this game. It feels like a very much of a relic of the time it was invented, and I feel like it's needed a reboot for a while now to iron out aspects of the game and make it faster and make it more accessible. And while this isn't it for the physical game, it is something to bring in more casual people to playing the cards instead of just collecting the cards. And I think that's something that's very valuable, especially for like what I do every day, being able to tell some of these collector folk that come in and are like, oh, I just never got around to learning how to play. It's like, cool, there's a new quick version on like the game, like your phone, that you can play and not have to deal with any of like your actual cards or anything like that. And so it's a cool way for me to try to get more people into the game as well, which is something that I enjoy.
Do we know when this
what I
is
do.
coming out?
Just sometime this year.
Just sometime this. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like coming 2024. Like hopefully summer. Sometime in the summer would probably be my guess. Is what I'm kind of hoping for. But we'll see. Like I said, I want it sooner rather than later because I think it's a really cool idea and I'm just really eager to play it. But no, I think this is cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah. All right. It's time for Wheeljack.
What a horrible time to get a sneeze in my nose.
It's time for Sneasel
It's
Jack.
time for sneezing.
Chris?
Fuck. He's
I'm
here
sure
somewhere,
it's
maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, we don't really have any like new news. It's mostly just stuff we've heard about already extensively. We just
That's how Transformers goes.
yeah.
Sorry, Scavenger just wasted Prowl. What's going on?
The Transformers news cycle is read text about it, and then like a couple months later, you see it in person. Not in person,
Yeah.
but like visually.
Here's the thing. I hate that I need these. But they do look really good. And honestly, it'll fix some problems like Jazz's transparent plastic backpack snapping for people and that kind of nonsense. So it'll be good.
They all look real.
Well, it's not fixing it so much as, hey, buy a different one, you piece of shit.
Well,
Give me
I
your
think,
money.
honestly, in the beginning, I think they thought we wanted transparent windows, and then
I see.
everyone's just like, no, we'd rather they just be painted blue because it's a sturdier plastic and it's consistent. And why do I want to see like leg joints in the interior
Yeah,
of the car while
that was
driving
always
around?
the thing for me. Is like, sure, clear windows is more realistic, but all you're looking at is like, oh look, here's fucking Jess's crotch in his fucking windshield. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like,
need that.
for Masterpiece, it made sense because you could actually see seats and the
Yeah.
interior of a car, and it was like, oh, that's neat. But for these, it's like everything's just folded up in there, so I don't need to see it. So it's more cartoon. And the other thing is, for years, and you saw this a lot of times, especially with Legends, Takara was like, fuck you, we're going to paint it like the cartoon. And Hasbro was like, fuck you, we're going to paint it like the original toy. And now Hasbro is just kind of giving up and going, or realizing they can do both, but they're at least going to give you the cartoon accurate one. And
Yeah, they have definitely been leaning cartoon accurate.
yeah,
for-
which I
for
appreciate.
quite a while.
Honestly, the clear, just the light blue painted windows, I mean, it matches the original cartoon. It's consistent. It just looks sharper. And honestly, the wheeljack is like a much lighter white. Honestly, if you wanted, like, they've done enough, like, toy accurate color schemes for things like Cyclonus and Galvatron and Springer. You could think of the Kingdom wheeljack as the toy accurate wheeljack, and then think of this as the animation accurate wheeljack, because the other one is very much like the original toy, and this one's very much like the cartoon.
Yeah.
Oh, before I forget, TFCon LA is next weekend. Last minute, I think I'm gonna go.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, it
I mean,
looks like fun.
if I lived half an hour away from all this stuff, I would go to a lot more of it.
Oh yeah,
But to
I
be
think
fair,
Vangelis is going and doing a panel that I really want to see.
oh, that's cool. There's a small convention in Jersey this weekend, and my friend's like, "Oh, do you want to go?" I'm like, "If it was closer," but I don't know. It's like over an hour, and the problem is, like, I mean, it's a fun convention. It's smaller, and that's not the problem. The problem is that, like, you're only going to go for 2 or 3 hours. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's like you go, you have fun, you walk the room, and then it's like, do I feel like driving an hour to be there for 2 hours and then drive an hour home? Not really. Like, also, I just spent a lot of money on Lego clearance, so that's another reason why I'm
Fair.
like, yeah, maybe I don't need to go.
Hey man, new billing cycle.
The Lego clearance, thankfully, was on the new billing cycle, so
Never mind.
it just happened yesterday. So,
Oh.
but yeah, these look good. I pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
It was funny because I got the alert on my phone, and Hasbro Pulse was like, "Buy this," and I'm like, "Oh, all right." And then I went into it.
Okay.
I put it in my cart, and before I could check out, it was like, "This is sold out," and I'm like, "Really? That?" I mean, literally within minutes. And then it like came back like half an hour later, and then I was able to get it. But I was like, they must have messed something up because it's sold out literally in seconds, and I was like, that's not real.
That's not real.
That's lie. Although I'll be honest, instead of Trailbreaker, I kind of wish that this was Sideswipe.
Yeah. As much as we dunk on the fact that they made Sideswipe 5 billion times, like roster wise, Sideswipe makes more sense to
Yeah,
me.
like honestly, I wish it was Ironhide, but I understand he's a higher price point. So,
How much was this set?
100, 105 or something like that.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
I thought it was 110, which still is not bad.
Oh yeah, still reasonable.
I mean, if you think about the fact that they would normally be what 125 separately. Although I don't know if this is a thing or not, but at my Target, Studio Series Deluxes are back down to 20, and Studio Series Voyagers are now $27.99, which they
That's
were
weird.
$33.99 or something before. So maybe they're actually trying to lower prices because they realize it's not working. I just think it's funny. Think about this, okay? And with things that we're going to talk about later too. You look at this set. It's 5 deluxes. It's $110. So you're technically saving $15. Then you look at Star Wars, where they're going to do a Sabine and a chopper that they just sold you, and then try to tell you it's $50. And I'm like, my guys, this is vintage collection, so they should be like 15 each. And if you want to try and gouge a little bit because you put in some, Loth Cats or whatever the fuck, you could maybe go to 35, 40. But then you just make it 50 because that's just the fuck you Star Wars fans, we know you'll buy it anyway tax. And I'm like, this is not cool. This is some bullshit.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I had some shit in my Big Bad Toy Store cart for Star Wars that I thought, oh, okay, it's on sale right now. I'll just wait on it. I didn't know that like their outlet thing was a temporary thing they were running. I just saw,
well, they do deals every day. They do daily deals. I don't know if what you were looking at was part of that or if it was just a sale, something else. But I know they do daily deals, which are only good for that day. The nice thing is they have changed it. Before with the daily deals, you had to ship immediately, and I'm like, but the other thing is, if it was a situation where, and it's a moot point now because they changed it, so that you'd have like a TVC figure and it's on sale for $9. I'm like, oh, that's great. I'd like to buy that. And then like, can I add it to my pile of loot? And they're like, no, you have to ship it now. I'm like, okay, well, can I add my pile of loot to this and ship it all now? And they're like, no. And I'm like, so I have to spend $4 for shipping is a fair price for standard locked $4. But I'm like, if you're making me buy just a TVC figure and I have to ship it by itself for $4, well, now it's back up to regular price. So your deal is moot. So I'm like, well, then I'm not buying this. But they're like, we heard you. The complaints make sense. We're going to allow you to put it in your pile of loot when we have these daily deals. Because I understand they have the daily deals because they're trying to clear stuff out.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no one was taking advantage of it for the reason I just described. And it's like, I understand you're going to have to hang on to it for a couple more days, but you're still getting rid of it.
Right.
Because they actually have a time limit on their pile of loot and they adhere to it. And it works fine. And they don't have to send me emails threatening me to ship my postcard that I bought because it's taking up inventory space.
I wonder who that could be.
It doesn't matter what you buy. Like I bought a pen. They're like, ship it. It's driving us mad.
Also, these two packs got revealed. And we will go through like their individuals right now.
Breakdown.
I love the fact that the listing for this said knockout.
Yeah.
Instead, it was just his boyfriend.
So because it was like everyone was like, we have no idea what knockout would be. Like, are they gonna? They already did knockout in Legacy, so it doesn't make sense to do it again. And then it just turned out to be breakdown. And I mean, he looks good. I mean, here's the thing: if they had tried to make breakdown out of like a traditional Prime or animated Bulkhead, it would probably look terrible. But because they already kind of G1ified Bulkhead, this kind of works because breakdown was just kind of like a generic long truck / SUV type vehicle.
Yeah, he was just a SUV dude. Like,
yeah, so like this kind of works. And I like that they gave him the hammer, which is like his key thing. So
I kind of want them to go back and just make a new Bulkhead mold that's like a little more in line with like how they're I guess at least for animated, they're leaning a bit more toward what they used to look like.
Well, let me just say, judging on how hard that first Bulkhead shell formed, there's no fucking chance that's going to happen.
That's fair.
I mean, it was everywhere forever, and nobody bought the damn thing.
A lot of them didn't have heads.
Well, plastic-free packaging.
Bulkheadless.
Yes.
No, this turned out pretty good, all things considered. Like the thing is that sure, breakdown was an SUV, and the only easy option for SUV was like crankcase.
Yeah,
and that crankcase is so small it wouldn't fucking work.
And we already have enough of that mold as other things, and there's more coming. And it's like I don't need that. This was fine. Honestly, I just think it's funny that they were mortal enemies and now they're mold brothers. So that's great.
Mortal enemies to mold brothers.
It's true.
So I think this was the best choice given what we had to pick from.
I also think it's funny because just a couple years ago they actually released the Japanese figure in that 2-pack with the Jet Terracon. And
Yeah.
that was like the first time I ever got it. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I finally have this. And they're like, well, here's this one. And I'm like, oh, this would have worked too, I guess.
But I'm glad Knockout has his boyfriend. I'm glad we get more Prime representation. I'm glad he's got the hammer that the Wreckers bulkhead had because I never bought that. So now I get the hammer.
Oh, is that where that came from?
Yeah, that came from Wreckers bulkhead.
Yeah, that camo one. I never bought that either.
Yeah, that was stupid. I don't know why that existed. So
Guys,
just
you
to
didn't
try to
wanna build
squeeze
a
one more out of
cardboard
them.
hammer?
Blade Raider said that he's seen Breakdown made out of Trash Master and it looks really good.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Neither did Hasbro, apparently.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this is fine.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this a lot.
This is neat. I really dig the
the
target masters as the trigger con guns.
Yeah.
I think that's
I honestly, there was one when it was one of the trigger bots. It was like a red and blue motorcycle. I don't remember its name, but that was like one of my favorite Transformers as a kid. I played with that all the time. So I want them to somehow. It does look like Chrome Dome Blade Raider. You're not wrong. But this is the color scheme of that toy. So, but it is kind of a Chrome Dome color scheme. But anyway, yeah, I hope they do more trigger bots and cons because I love that motorcycle. I really wish. I don't remember. Let's look it up. Let's just look it up. You don't have to wait for me. You can keep talking about things.
All right. Here's the jet mode. I didn't put it on that other slide because we had some little dudes to look at.
Little dudes. I mean, they got really lazy. Like, I mean, it's kind of a win-win because they're like, we don't even have to paint these that hard because they're supposed to be silver because that's what the original toys were. Oh, it was over.
Mold?
Okay.
What mold is this based off of?
No, Needle Nose.
Needle Nose.
Oh. Is that the one that combined with all the...
Supposedly.
Okay.
By combine, you mean sit on top of.
Yeah, just seated.
Yeah, no, I love how they pulled everything off. It looks really good.
Yeah, it's fun.
I love how they put everything on. All right.
But let's get to the real stars. There we go.
Yeah, God, both of these turned out.
They
so
came out so
good.
better than I could have expected because usually with Chop Shop, like the orange makes it pop because it's otherwise a pretty mundane brown color scheme. And when they did, what was the last time they did Chop Shop? Just as the core class, right?
The Legends.
Yeah, whatever it was called then. Whatever core class was called then, and that was okay. But this just pops like this for a brown color scheme. They made it work.
This is so good.
Yeah, I'm really happy with this.
They added the bits to the arms to make the new insect legs. The mandibles are completely new. Yeah, it just he looks great.
Yeah, really excited.
And honestly, just given how little is actually remolded, like they added parts to the arms, so it's not even a remold; it's just a new part.
Yeah, because it just plugs in.
And the only thing they changed is the head and the mandible parts. Like that's the only thing new, and he looks different and just seems like a completely new toy.
Yeah,
and I think that's the sign of a good repaint remold is when.
And they didn't
even tell.
They didn't paint the tip of the gun so you could put blast effects, and it's also safety compliant because it's got an orange tip.
Yeah, perfect.
Also, this is exactly what was going through my mind.
Yeah, my 3,000 word slow burn pen.
All right, that's this guy. Now check out this fella.
This guy looks awesome.
He also turned out fucking great. He's got the benefit of having a whole new chest.
Yeah. The funny thing is, and I know this is 100% the color scheme of the original toy, but it also super reminds me of something you'd see at like a dollar store, like one of those the KO bug robots that you used to see all the time.
Insect Warrior Robo.
Yeah, exactly. and I love it even more for that. It's like it's a complete classic Transformer homage, but also gives me hints of that, and I'm like, I love it for two reasons. It doesn't matter. I love it. Yeah. I love it so much. I think I can't decide which one of the two I like more, but I don't have to because they come in the same box. So hooray,
Yeah,
we all
and
win.
we know we're getting Venom in
Yeah, Venom will be
Generations
single
Prime.
release later on.
So we'll have all of the Deluxe Insecticons for what feels like the first time since G1.
Yeah, I mean probably.
So that is excellent.
I mean they don't
news.
trot these guys out very often, and like I said, the only reason we got Chop Shop before was because they wanted to repaint the Legend shrapnel that they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yes.
great. The chest looks great. The beetle mode looks great. They even gave him like a little back leg so he doesn't look like the complete brick that Bombshell looks like. So that's great.
What a lad. Love him.
Love him.
So the rest of this... Oh, I forgot about this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we didn't paint the other ones, so we don't have to paint this one either,
Minotauros
right?
monologue, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Minotauros monologue?
Yeah, I don't know what his name is.
To be or not to be?
To paint or not to paint? That is the question. Not to paint.
Anyway, he comes with the set so that they can charge $55.99 for 2 deluxes.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, a deluxe is 25. So 25, 25, 5, 55. See Star Wars team? You just add the values together. The other one is like 35 plus 25, and the thing is 60. Again, no markup, just adding the values together of the normal market prices.
Wow.
$50.
Yeah, Malleus Minotaurus. There's his name.
No, I'm pretty sure his name is Monologue or whatever the fuck you call it in canon now. That's happening.
He's got the Marcus Solus Prime on his head. That's neat.
A little foreshadowing for the next
little bit.
the next line.
Yeah.
I just don't know why they didn't paint him like at all. Like I don't need much, but give him something.
So he can be a realistic silver hammer.
Maybe it's to go with the other
apparently
silver
he's a wrecker. And like the whole wreckers thing was like the big silver hammer, so like he is the hammer. The wreckers.
Everyone gets you get a hammer, and you get a hammer.
Everyone gets hammers.
Everyone gets hammered.
We love that. So the other pack in this set is the bludgeon repaint with
we don't have pictures of it.
The bitch that they're turning into from Beachcomber.
Yeah.
Did I miss
Buggy
they didn't.
Man.
No, they didn't show it.
Okay.
Ruckus.
Ruckus, thank you.
Do we know confirmed that it's Beachcomber, or is that just the prevailing theory?
That's just the theory.
I think it makes the most sense though when you look at the kind of weird thing, because the only other option is like crankcase or something, and please don't make this many crankcases. I mean, it's a fine mold. We've had enough. I'm good. Yeah. Oh, it's Minotaur hammer in Latin.
Yeah, Malleus's hammer.
I mean that makes sense. Like a mallet. So the bludgeon, is it just a straight up repack of the bludgeon we just got?
It is. By people I mean I watched Proto Man's fucking TF Slack podcast, and he talked about, because that's about the only thing I do. He was talking about it might be a repaint of bludgeon that is more focused on his Pretender shell colors, so a lot of like oranges and yellows and golds.
I mean, I assume to me it's giving me vibes of that time we got like 6 different impactors for no reason.
Yeah.
Which I don't really need again, but
yeah.
I mean, if they do something like at least if they paint it substantially, like when they did Springer, it was like 2 very different color schemes. So it's like, all right.
That's the general idea right now, is it might be a Pretender shell colored instead of the green that they lean into now.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm sure Ruckus will look good, so I'm gonna have to get it anyway.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like, do I need another bludgeon? No, but do I need Ruckus? Yes.
As long as you don't completely biff it, Hasbro, so you're on notice.
Now, if Ruckus is crankcase, I don't know, I might wait.
Yeah, exactly. Then it's a sale time.
Beachcomber's a really fun mold, though, so.
Yeah, even though it's fairly simple.
Don't fuck us.
That's right, don't fuck us on Ruckus. I want that on the shirt. Don't fuck us on Ruckus. Where do I buy these? I want them. They're adorable.
I was looking today. I don't think Wave 3 is up, but I think it was Joy Toy World or something. Joy Toy World online.
That sounds like an adult toy store. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, they
Joy
vibrate in
Toy?
these ones.
Joy
Joy
Toy World? Does anyone in the
Yeah,
chat
I
know a
don't know.
reputable website I can buy these from?
Yeah.
Joy Toy the world.
So I don't have to spend my infinity store.
That's so funny.
You got Corey with that one.
I'm glad. I thought it was really fucking stupid.
Now there's a
Oh,
robot. There's a
I've-
robot mode slag too, right? I'm sorry, Aresol. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I've bought from them before.
Oh, you have?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you
perfect.
go.
So you
Reputable.
vouch for him? All right. If
Yeah.
you vouch for him.
I bought Beast boxes from them before.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Okay.
And you didn't have any weird credit cards.
Speaking
opened
of
up in your
Beast
name
Box,
or
the
anything?
axolotl Beast Boxes are fucking cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are super neat though. I like them.
Yeah, I think
Do they scale with Mission Fleet?
I don't know how tall they are, to be honest with you. I would guess
think
probably
they're-
like 3 inches or so, but I'm not sure about
yeah,
that.
something like that. Let me see.
But I mean, that would scale with Mission Fleet because I would be okay with them being a little bit taller than your average stormtrooper.
Sure. Yeah, it's under blocks, not BLOKEES. Because I've seen it both ways, blocks or blockies or something. And they're blockies. Their waves are separated by like they're called episodes.
Oh, Astronaut says Shozy's store has them. I've heard of that. I don't know if I've ever bought from them, but I've heard of it.
How long did it take to get to you, Aresol?
I don't remember. If
Oh,
I'm
okay.
being honest.
Gotcha. Yeah, because like it has what I assume is the full first wave of 9 figures for like $52.
That's not bad.
I can't imagine. Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
I mean, I don't think
So-
they're super big or expensive, but I don't know.
Right.
Also,
and then
just a-
episode 2 is like $50.
just a small note. Don't put Sideswipe and Red Alert in the same wave. Let it breathe. put
Well, they-
Red Alert in wave 4.
I think they put Starscream and the Seekers in the first wave, or maybe it was just
Oh,
a
do
bunch
they?
of the Seekers in the first wave.
Do they have all the
to check.
Constructicons done now?
I
I think there were 2 in the last
This might have
wave.
let me see.
Because we talked about these like 2 weeks ago. Didn't we talk about wave 2 like 2 weeks
think
ago
so.
in the show?
Hold on.
Oh, Astronaut
Wait.
says they're called blokes. So apparently they're British.
Floats. Oh. Yeah, Ironhide and Ratchet were in the same wave.
Oh, were they really?
Yeah.
Surprised Cliff Jumper's not here.
I don't know.
But I think there's a robot. When I looked through the pictures, I think there's a Slag Dino mode and a Slag robot mode. Because I think they did the same thing with Grimlock in the last one.
Yeah.
Because they
Okay,
can't
yeah, there's
transform,
also-
obviously, but
There's also a Prowl and a Silver Streak? Blue Streak? I don't know which
it
one.
depends who you ask. But yes.
Okay. Okay. And then 2 of the Seekers, but Starscream came in episode 2.
And then never again.
Yeah. So I looked on Joy Toy World, and since Aerosol's bought from them, I think it'd be fine. There were 2 of them in wave 2, 2 of them here. So
I mean, 9 for $50. That's like
I know.
$5.50 a piece. That's really nothing.
I know.
Obviously, they'll be shipping, but maybe I'll just wait till these are out and just buy like all 3 waves at once or something, so I don't have to have ship multiple times.
I'll check in and see how much shipping is estimated at. But yeah, this is wave 3. Very excited.
Yeah, they're neat. I like them.
And I think the last time we talked about them, we were all like, "Oh yeah, these remind me a lot of Action Masters," and I would love play sets for these.
Oh yeah.
These are really
I wonder. The other thing is these would probably scale with the page punchers that McFarlane's doing. So I would be interested to like compare one of these to one of his, like in terms of articulation and how it looks, and see like plastic quality, see how they hold up, because it'd probably be about the same scale if I had to
This
guess.
says free shipping,
That's a lie. That's how they get you.
but Aresol bought from them. He got his toys.
I'm just teasing you.
Yeah, and I only had like a couple of strikes on my card.
Yeah, I only got charged a refrigerator.
He's like, they stole my identity twice, but I got my beast box.
Yeah.
You'll have to poke around too and see. Maybe like TF Source or somebody has them. But then again, they'll probably be
They're
crazy
getting shipped to me
pricey.
now.
Oh, you bought them?
Yeah, waves 1 and 2. We'll see.
Okay. All right, we'll use Corey as a guinea pig.
Yeah, I mean, like if it's going through PayPal and it doesn't get to me, then like.
I mean, that is true. If you use PayPal, there's not really, they can't get you.
Yeah.
Then you can just dispute it with them if something happens. So
Right.
Get me, fuckers.
No, right? That's
so
Right.
is it just joytoyworld.com, all one word?
I'll send you the link.
Okay.
And yeah, once check back here in a few weeks, few months, or whatever, how long it takes, and then Chris, you
I don't
will,
think it will take months.
probably not. But we'll see.
Not only did Corey not get his toys, they actually abducted him, and now he works in a pig butchering scam warehouse.
Oh my God! Did you watch that episode of John Oliver too?
It was crazy, dude. It's crazy,
Dude, fucked up.
shit, dude. I was like, just basically
not
the
what
moral
this
of the story is
episode's about,
never
but-
invest in crypto ever, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was these guys.
They're cool.
So excited. Yeah. Oh, we've
No, that's it.
newsed.
That's the whole thing.
We've fully newsed. But hey, KingOver ended, so I figured we might have a very nice KingOver segment.
Okay. It was
yeah.
good.
It was so good.
All right, thanks. Join us next week.
Yeah, we did it.
It was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
Solid. I don't know. I'm trying to think like what I would talk about. Like I did like it, but I don't know. Somebody else start, I guess.
I think so. I was talking to these guys throughout the week, and I was saying, yeah, that last episode was certainly the end of it, because I feel like with the second to last one, that one felt like the real climax of it all, and it was so.
It's like an HBO show. You ever watch like Game of Thrones? It's like the second to last episode of the season is always the most impressive, and then the last episode is just tying up loose ends and people talking about like, man, do you remember that shit that happened last episode? God damn, it was crazy.
But no, like I didn't mind that, especially since the second to last was just so good and so indicative of what KingOver was, and brought everything back together, even the movies.
I mean, by
But
the
I
time
almost
we
didn't
got to the
watch.
last episode, like we didn't have anything else to do but kill the
Yeah.
Space King. So
Mhm.
I thought it was funny because like I remember Matt was watching the second to last episode. And he's like, "Oh my god, it's going off! I won't tell you spoilers." And I'm like, "Okay." And then I watch it, and I'm like, "What would you have spoiled?" Like, not that it was fine, and I enjoyed it, but I'm like, they transform and fight the guy, and then they kill the guy. You probably could have guessed that was going to happen. Basically, how these shows work.
Yeah.
If the guy won, that's a spoiler because I did not see that.
But I will say, I almost said the trend recently, but it's really only been this and Godzilla -1. But I love the whole moral of your story being that everyone lives, everyone gets to survive. We are fighting so that nobody dies in this. And what I loved about that was we see Rackley's get like an epilogue. There was no point in which they put his life on the line or anything, like for like what he had done earlier. He's still here, he's still around, he's still kind of in jail, but he got a happy ending.
I would argue
happy.
I would argue killing him
too. Oh, sorry.
I would argue that killing him would have gone against what they were trying to like say in the the episode where he was on trial.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he anything, it would be like a heroic sacrifice kind of a thing. Like he would have. I don't think they would have like sent him off and been like, "You're expendable because you're a piece of shit." I think if the character died, it would have been like a "let me atone by doing this and giving you time to get away" or this or whatever.
I more meant like KingOver, both with Rackley's and back when Deathnarok died. They kind of approached it with the idea of like they should be atoning for what they did like alive, because dead they serve no purpose.
Yeah.
Well, he was dead at the end, and he came back and kicked some serious ass.
That's true. And like, I think it means a lot more for Rackley's to be held accountable while he's alive than to kind of like go out as a hero, even though he had a big heroic stand, and I really liked those moments.
Yeah,
because we got to see him actually act like a good leader as opposed to a corrupt one.
Yeah,
it's wild that like every now and again we get these heel turns for villains and redemption arcs and stuff. I don't think anyone's worked as well as his did.
This was a whole different level of turn. Like, this was the longest.
It was calculated.
Game turn.
It was precise.
Like usually it's just something where it's like, oh, I was under a spell, or you're right, I'll stop being a dick. But you know what I mean? And it's kind of manufactured. But like you said, this was like no, I knew what I was doing the whole time, but I had to do it.
It fucking hurt me to do this, but I had to do it to try to save the fucking universe.
Right, like the long game was so long game, 2,000 years long game, but we got there.
And on top of that, it's like I also see why it was easy for him to make allies with Kaguragi, because like both of them
kind of the same
sullied
shtick.
their hands.
Both of them are their own brand of fuck.
Yeah, I did love
both of them are their own brand of fuck.
Yeah. She said what she said.
Yeah, I said it.
You were talking about when the Bugnarok guy came back from the dead, and like that guy with the graduation cap on his head who came back like 700 times, you just couldn't get rid of him. Like he's fighting Jeremy, and Jeremy's like, "Oh no, you deserve to get fucked, but I'm not going to be the one that fucks you." And then they both turn around, and that guy comes out again, and he's like, "You son of a bitch! I've been in hell dreaming about how I'm going to kick your ass." And I was like, that's cool.
I love the fact that everyone that came back from the land of the dead, love the fact that they remembered Bashomar existed. Because
every time they remember that character's a thing,
also
surprises the hell out of me.
He had been dead like the whole show.
Right. I'm like, did he ever really exist, or was it like a person that other guy made up just to be in character? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know for 100%. I didn't know.
So great that we actually got like the real one on screen at any point. So bless you for remembering he existed. But I love the fact that everyone started vanishing. But Deathnarok was just so fucking pissed he stayed.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna vanish. I'll go through the gate when I'm.
He's like, I'll go in a minute.
You're coming with me.
I got some shit to take care of first.
And then he told the little tarantula to stay.
Yeah. He's like, we still have toys to sell. Stay here.
And they didn't bother even like killing the dude. Like Death Rock was like, and now I'm going to drag you to hell.
Yeah, literally
and I'm going to
drag you
just
to
spend the rest of time killing you.
And then they get there, and the guy with the scythe is like, I was napping, you sons of bitches. It's so loud.
It's so loud. Please.
He's like, I had 4 episodes down here by myself, and it was quiet, and I was happy. Oh, sorry, Blade Runner said. I guess we should have said spoilers. So I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
We are discussing the end of the show, so
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, we did. Yeah.
But I mean,
Let's
he didn't
call it
watch
the
past episode 3, so I mean that's on you, my guy. My bad. But we should have. It's on me that I didn't say spoilers ahead of time. I'll admit that. But if you didn't watch past episode 3, it's been a year.
Yeah. Let's see. Also, going back to the Boshimar thing, I loved how like he showed up and the 3 of them were just like fucking kids getting back together over the summer or something, and just like
we're the 3 sword boys.
And it was like it was the dorkiest but most adorable thing I'd ever seen. It was so good. And the tragic like, damn, he's leaving. I can't watch him go. So he had his back turned like that. Man, that was good.
I gotta be honest. Did anyone expect like Prince to show up randomly towards the end?
a little bit.
I kind of like not bring the mecha, but just like show up and be like, I'll fight a little bit. I mean, he did kind of a couple weeks ago, but
because like considering we got so many like I don't want to say nobody characters because everyone's important here. That that's the whole point of the story. But we got like side characters to get like
the one guy from Shugadama just screams at everybody in the bowler hat.
yeah.
Be honest. Did anyone else kind of want him to get killed? I was like, if someone accidentally steps on him,
Apparently there was an interview with the writer who said that part of that guy's role was like slightly improvised at first, so they did not expect to keep him around for the entire series.
Hey man,
that's wild.
He turned it into a career. Good for him.
Yeah.
I like how that man just sucked the dick of whoever was in charge. He did not care. No questions asked. He's like, "You're leading the country. You're great."
I love this guy. No, you should hate him. Fuck that guy. All right,
whatever. Also, I did want to know. This is a completely not related to what we were talking about, but like that realm that the main villain was hanging out in.
His like space room thing.
His space room. Like they really tried to put saran wrap over just normal shit.
I thought they were trying to make it out of like fake glass or something, like all his like swing sets you're talking about, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it looked like saran wrap over things that were painted green so they get keyed out, and it never looked good.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean they wanted to kind of give you like a hint of a shape just so you could understand what he was doing or what he was on or whatever. But yeah, I thought it was like acrylic, like plastic shit. I don't know what they did, but yeah, it was.
Yeah,
he lived in a Rubik's Cube in space.
And I wanted to bring that up. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it. It is kind of the rare example of a set design in the show that isn't great. Like it's okay for what it is, but I actually really like a lot of the sets that they made for this.
Yeah, and I brought that up because,
I said that they CGI'd. Really
right. But I brought that up because I did really want to talk about like the visual effects that went into it, and I feel like Sentai's or at least like Toku in general recently, like pushes the envelope of what they're capable of before it's ready for them to be capable of doing that. But this is the first time where I feel like it's actually convincingly transported me to a very different world that is separate from what we've seen. It's not just a blue or green tint over the regular Quarry set. It was like, I feel like we were in a different place. The only major criticism I have was like, scale wise, I don't think I ever felt like it was more than 5 towns slightly apart from each other instead of like an entire world.
Yeah,
But
like
outside of that, like, I think it worked.
it always irked me that they're like, oh, here's this whole planet, but then like fucking what's the fuck's name? More.
Which one?
I keep wanting to say Morphonica, and that's a band.
Morphonia.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. She can go from Tofu all the way to Gokon in like what feels like maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And like some of them have excuses because they have flying insect robots.
Yeah.
But a lot of them don't. Like, so I'm like that took me out of it a little bit, but I know for the sake of narrative that they just move things along. But that was always a little weird to me.
The one that was most jarring to me was that episode where they switched bodies and they kept moving the prisoners around. They're like, this is not a walkable distance. I mean, it kind of is. It looks like it. Yeah, no, that was great. Let's see. Should we talk about like individual characters? Because I feel like each of them like really have a lot.
Going back to the interview that I read a while back, apparently most like Sentai are written with a sort of general outline of a character, and then it's tweaked depending on who they hire for the actor.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess in this case, they had like
You good?
He doesn't realize how loud that is, but yeah, that was loud.
Oh, my bad.
Also, why did you send? Go. Never mind. Go ahead, Aresol. I'm sorry.
I guess in this case, they had a really solid idea of what they wanted for the characters, and they chose the actors that they felt best suited that idea.
Oh wow. Okay.
Which I imagine is kind of why they all did a really good job. But I think the one exception is with Rita, and Rita's like the only one that slightly changed because of the actor they picked. But
yeah, I thought they said they initially envisioned that Rita's character could have been a guy, and
they the casting process involved was open to all genders.
Okay.
So it's the only time they've ever done that. Yeah.
Wow.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
We stan our non-binary king, because that's the term they use.
Quite literally, yeah. Yeah, I have no idea.
I genuinely liked all of the characters in this show. Like, I hated Reckless at the beginning, and you're supposed to.
Yeah.
So one, good on them. And like, I fucking love his character now. Like, that turn made everything worth it. And I love that. But like the core cast of characters, like there was times where I wanted to punch Kaguragi in the face. Again, you're supposed to. And like, despite the fact that there was times like I genuinely had a problem with some of the characters because of what they were doing, I never had a problem with the performances or how they were represented or anything like that. I will continuously say that the writing and planning and execution of everything in the show was probably the best that Sentai has had in a very long time. It was coherent. It strung everything together. It went back and referenced such minuscule things like that fucking gelatin.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Like that had a purpose, and I'm normally someone that very much likes to pay attention to like how a story progresses. So occasionally, if there's filler that seems kind of useless, like it is here, it didn't progress a character story any or anything like that, that filler kind of irks me. And there was definitely some episodes of KingOver where it was kind of fillery. It didn't necessarily provide like character development. It was very rare that it didn't provide character development, but any times that it did happen, it was entertaining enough to enjoy, and it was often like pulled back into the main narrative for some reason or another. And I just find that shit fascinating. Like, there was nothing to skip in this show.
And I hate to keep bringing up this interview, but it's an interview with the creator, so I like this
I'm interested.
kind of relevant. But they mentioned how like they purposefully didn't really write this in the typical Sentai format. They did it more in like a shonen manga sort of way, and how the reason why they had reoccurring cast and like background characters was because they didn't really feel that the like random character of a week or random guest stars worked. They didn't really feel that it held the audience's attention very well, and so they wanted to make sure that there was a recognizable cast, which is why like the girl from like episode 3 shows up in the last episode randomly.
Yeah, I was like, who the fuck are you? Oh.
It's just like that kid from Iron Man 3 showing up at Tony's funeral. Like, who are you? Oh shit! By the way, spoilers for Endgame.
Or that kid in Iron Man 2 who went on to do something spider related.
Yeah.
Some asshole, yeah. That's so funny. I forgot they retconned that kid to be what was it? Oh, something I did want to talk about was like there was this string of episodes that really highlights what sort of Rai was talking about. Like from the previews, they're like, oh, they've got balls on their heads and they've got a hammer, so they're just gonna start hitting each other with it, and that's gonna be the episode. But really, it was this start of like, hey, we have this new power set. Let's use this as an opportunity to pair off some characters and really check back in with what their relationships were like now. Because I think the first string of that 3 was a bit more blue and red focused, and we saw that sort of pairing toward the beginning. And then there was the black and purple episode, and we really got to check in and see how well like they actually knew each other through their side characters. Like, hey, believe in yourself, and hey, Kaguragi really wants you to follow your path and your dreams. And surprisingly, the side characters found the places they were meant to be, and then the main characters did. And then we had the one with Yellow and Spider Kumanos. That really highlighted.
Can I just say for a moment the fact that same episode in which they're bonking each other on the head with mallets, ended up devolving into Yama lights everything on fire.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
like what the fuck?
Well, it's like the second time they did that one where they turned into babies or whatever, and I was like, are we
Why are we
really?
doing this again?
I was like, why are we fucking doing this again? And then I was like, oh, it was just a quick, convenient way to say, well, they're not going to be the focus of the episode, and these two are. Like, you know what I mean? So
Right,
it was like,
Also,
it was just a convenient, quick plot device to just push them aside and explain why they're
Yeah.
only focusing.
the
And I
fact
thought,
that
oh, okay, that doesn't
Kaguragi was
bother me
still
then.
Kaguragi.
That's how old he is. Yeah.
It's my
Full
favorite
size
part,
Kaguragi.
Also, I feel like at some point we have to talk about the fact that the old man butler really is a young guy she makes dress up because she prefers an old man butler. And they actually did an episode where he was able to like infiltrate something because they didn't realize it was the
Yeah.
same guy.
That was so
I
good.
genuinely didn't expect that one when it
Yeah.
happened. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
was-
expect the handsome one-off character to
Yeah.
be the butler.
Yeah, he's like, no, I'm the butler. I've been here the whole time. Help me put my face back on. I was like, what is happening?
But it was so awesome because it was like, oh, now I know this isn't the queen. This is someone else. Fuck you. I'm gonna expose you. That was
Yeah.
really good. That was really well done.
God, the side characters are so fucking good.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
And there's even that like one random doctor who just like is like, I'm gonna do kung fu now. While everyone else is fighting. I'm like, when did you get good at karate? All right, whatever, let's go.
There was also Whale Lady from the movie that came back.
Whale lady.
I didn't see
Well,
that.
lady!
Which movie?
The one King Odra movie.
Yeah.
There's
Was
only
that
one.
the summertime movie?
Yes,
I
that
didn't
is
see
the
it.
one.
Which
movie.
one is that called? I might have it downloaded.
King Odra the movie.
They always have subtitles.
Adventure something.
Adventure Time.
Adventures with Whale Lady, apparently.
I love I think a few days before it came out,
Adventure
Aresol,
Heaven.
Yes, okay, I have it here.
Aresol and I were talking about it, and we were like, sometimes they introduce a person in a movie, just like with Kyoryuger. You see them once, maybe they show up again once later, but they barely ever have they barely ever come back. They're barely ever relevant. Do you think we're gonna get that here? And we're like, maybe not. And then she just shows up with the fucking whales.
Well,
Just
that
doesn't like it.
happened because we were talking about episode 48, I think.
Mhm.
And you hadn't watched the movie at that point.
Mhm.
So to you, they had like established an afterlife
Oh.
very recently
Yeah.
and then paid off with it at the end of the episode. And I was like, no, they established that like halfway through the series in the movie. So like you watched the movie before episode 49.
Mhm.
And yeah, we had that conversation of like, it's probably not going to be relevant beyond like, the gates to the afterlife or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, Devonica just shows up. Why not?
Yeah. It was cool.
Not only did she show up, like she showed up with all the dead people. She's like,
Yeah.
let's go.
But also, like, where have you been? What
I
did
don't know,
you?
maybe she
In the
lives
afterlife.
somewhere.
Yeah, I have no idea.
The one issue, and this kind of goes off of what Rai was saying earlier. The one issue I do have with the world building is that I kind of want more of it.
Mhm.
Like I kind of want to know, like, okay, there's clearly somewhere that Devonica went, and
Yeah.
like there's clearly a story here behind why she's this priestess, and like how somewhere she went somewhere to train to do this. And I'd love to have stuff like that fleshed out a bit more, but
Yeah, for sure.
at the same time, I do understand that King Oger had a very specific focus, and that
Yeah.
probably just wasn't it.
And it's wild to think that the show that we watched that typically comes under fire for having too much time on their hands and thus needs filler. We're at the end of this and we're like, I actually kind of want more of that. Did you have any of that to go around? Or like, no, we're at our 50. Fuck. I would have loved more. Yeah, for sure. Especially like, I'm so interested in
Excuse me.
its ties to our world. Mostly because like we introduced that in the Kyoryuger crossover, which I don't know how this show was able to balance it being its own really grandiose thing and also suddenly having to become a sequel series to one of the best Sentai in recent memory. Like it stuck the landing on all of that. So they introduced that there, and I would have liked to see more of that. Like, what was that past version like? Were there like, was that power set available to them before, or like, and then all the insect stuff happened because apparently they're from like a different world that got destroyed as well, or was that the Bugnarok?
The Bugnarok are from a different world.
Okay. And it made it seem like this world is just like incidentally a refugee area for the destruction that fucking swan-headed dude had brought across the universe.
So did he have like a little baby in his head, or what was that when they finally
Little
killed him?
dude
That was
Yeah,
him.
Oh, okay.
I
So
think
he's
that
wearing
was-
like an exosuit kind of a thing.
I guess,
assume
yeah.
so.
When we
I mean, they
saw
like
it,
broke the shield and this little fetus
Yeah,
popped out
yeah,
and
yeah.
disintegrated, and I was like, "What the hell's going on with this guy?"
when
I
they
mean,
busted open the big dude, the
Yeah, the matchstick guy or whatever he was made
yeah,
of.
when they busted open his chest, he had a bunch of those crawling around, and then
Oh,
when they killed Doug Dead the first time, that's why he like was rebirthed out of him, I guess.
that reminds me of what is it? The Juoger. I think it was around the finale, so spoilers for that as well. But like they realize, oh shit, you, Mr. Main Villain guy, you're not just one guy, you're just a bunch of like little bugs in there, and that's disgusting, and you're awful. We're gonna kill you and all of you.
Yeah, it phrased exactly like that. Yeah.
yeah. But that also just adds a whole nother layer of like, is he really a god, or did he ascend to that point from something else? Sure, this was a vessel, but like, was this a species you were part of before, or is it just conducive to implant your brain into, and that's why you're ending up using them, and then they're also being used to pilot a larger version of yourself, I guess. Which, like, they can grow, right? They can use their powers to grow, so why would you need to be in a larger dude if you could just get bigger on your own?
why do you like to be in a larger dude?
Because it makes me feel powerful.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I don't know where to go.
Why'd he put all his shit in saran wrap like he's an old woman trying to preserve the couch? I have no idea.
First of all, Italian people do that. They put plastic covering on their couches to keep them pristine, but then you have to sit on a weird plastic couch and you always sweat. It's a
No, I
terrible
know.
thing.
Chinese people do that too.
I've dealt with it. All my mom's aunts and uncles, every time I go to their house, I'm like, this can't be comfortable. Why are we doing it?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to get like super deep into every single character.
That's fair.
Like you guys said, I liked all of them. I didn't really have an issue with anyone. As with a lot of the fandom, I think Rita's probably my favorite of the bunch. But like they all hit for me. I really like Jeremy. I think he had a really cool story. He has a really fun personality. I like
His suit is awesome.
His suit's fantastic. I like the whole bit of him being the narrator, and then guess what? The narrator's been the Sixth Ranger the whole time.
I also really like going back to his story, that like we saw the Bugnarok as like the main trooper for a while, up until the very end, where they're like just actual real citizens who can talk, like can speak, and like we rarely get that. You know, we have villains that turn around, like non-humanoid villains that turn around every now and again. But this felt like a whole we're turning around this whole species. I'm gonna try to make sure that we do better now, and that progression really worked to the point where, like, at the end of it, it was just they didn't like sprinkle any of them in the background of the bad guys because, like, oh, we need to fill out ranks. They ended up using what I can only assume is like the more violent ones, because isn't it like the violence that made them evolve or whatever? So those were
they became more monstrous because they were eating shoe gods.
Gotcha. So
because they had that pile of dead locusts, and they were eating them.
But either way, they made it distinct, and I don't know, it got me to really love them as a species and want to do better. It worked.
Yeah. A fun thing about Jeremy is his like character quirk of the whole like read between the lines thing is entirely what caused his biggest problem in the series, which is like he ended up writing the thing that caused all of the discrimination between the two races.
Right.
It's because he's not clear enough. So he wrote this thing expecting people to look into it deeper, and they didn't, because it's just a children's book, and
people are stupid.
Yeah.
It's like people getting upset at Star Wars for being political when like its foundation is like, no, like it's like Star Wars, and I think the rebels were made out to be like the Viet Cong versus the actual Empire. People aren't just gonna get it, you know.
Speaking of politics, let's talk about the reason. No, no. My thought with KingOver from very early on was that it was a smart move to put it on like an alien planet, because you probably couldn't do this kind of story in the real world.
Oh, right. Like,
without running into some kind of like issue of, well, what are you trying to say about this country?
Yeah, this whole show should never have taken place in a real setting. Like, they could have gave like normal civilians night powers. It still just wouldn't have ever fucking worked. Like, like not in the fucking slightest. Oh, goddamn though.
Yeah.
Good show.
All in all, though, like this series, one is my favorite series now.
Yeah.
I think I've just accepted that fact. And two, it's like it really is like a big labor of love. I feel like they put in so much effort, even when it didn't necessarily look the best. There was still an effort was made.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But also, like, whether it is like set design or scene design, or how the characters are acted, like no matter how goofy things were, everybody kind of committed 100%. The writing is fantastic. The music's awesome. I've been listening to Inferno all week.
God, Inferno's so fucking good. Inferno is by far my favorite song on the entire show.
It's really, really
10
good.
out of 10 fucking song.
But yeah, it just felt like a Sentai that really like fired on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Just all the way through. And I love it. I think it's fantastic. Hopefully we get a good follow-up, but regardless, I am kind of going to miss looking forward to KingOver every week.
Me too.
Yeah. I mean, in that interview, was there ever any indication that they're going forward with this similar approach of like making it so that
I couldn't tell you. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
I think it would ultimately be up to the writer.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I just thought like since they recognize that maybe like a person of the week didn't like capture attention as well. I thought maybe hopefully
like
that would mean we'd get.
I wasn't sure if you meant like writing approach or the green screen, but either way, I have no clue.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, fair.
I hope they took notes on the fact that person of the week is just so fucking disinteresting. Like, make a world and include these reoccurring characters and make them do the plots of the episode.
Right.
Like, make us care about what is happening to someone. Because, like, I don't care about random girl B that showed up at the beginning of the episode and, like, got infected or whatever they're doing for villains that year. Like, I legitimately do not give a shit. But, like, if we have spent half of the show with, like, goddamn,
goddamn.
It's such a weird name for a country. Like Citizen A and B, and we see them.
Can you
constantly
say that like you're from the South?
Goddamn.
Thank you.
Goddamn, son.
I love that you did that because it's on the internet now. You end up caring, and I think that's really important for a narrative to and for like a show like this to care about what's happening. And I think that's why the filler episode, I use that term real loosely with KingOver, but the filler episodes felt fresh and mattered, and I cared because it always involved these characters that we've spent so much time with, even if they weren't our main cast of characters.
And I feel like the only knock against that I had, and I guess it goes hand in hand with the visual effects as well, but it made it seem like the world was a bit smaller, because like you hang out with like I want to say upwards of like 5 people per like country, per zone. It makes it feel less filled out, especially in the approach they did here. But I think overall it like really helped to sell those emotional beats, especially at the end.
I think on the flip side of that, like you're dealing with a main cast of characters that are kings. And in a royal setting, like you're gonna have your kings, and you're gonna have the small court that surround themselves around that king. And so naturally, if we're looking through a lens of we're watching the main characters be kings, naturally our side characters are going to be the people we see most around them. And so in that regard, I get what you're saying, but I also don't necessarily feel it makes the world feel smaller just because of the lens we're looking through.
I guess I get
instance.
that. I think I agree overall, except for with the main city. We really only hung out with the two orphans and that old guy, and like they weren't part of that court. They were just in the town that is closest,
Yeah.
And I feel like
I do have to say though, like there is a certain expectation for Sentai, and like,
yeah, fair.
There's just not the budget
Right, I agree.
to have a full crowd like that.
Also, we had the fucking little tech dude that helped with the robots and shit.
Oh yeah, with the lollipop.
Yeah, lollipop guy.
Was he? I mean, I know we saw him earlier.
Timothy Chalamet.
What was with the guy with the Bob's Big Boy curl? That thing was driving me crazy the whole time. I hated that shit.
For a long time, I thought he had like a googly eye taped to his forehead. I didn't know what to make of what was going on.
His hair legitimately drove me nuts the whole fucking
not a good look.
Yeah. Also,
plus, I'm supposed to believe he was like a hardened criminal once with that haircut. Like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. He's like, yeah, I'm selling H down at the docks. I'm like, not with that haircut, you're not, sir. Sorry, I'm not believing it.
Selling H down by the docks.
Yeah, anyways. KingOver sucks. Don't watch it. That's our review.
Speaking of criminals, though, man, Donkey Kruger really fell in hard times, didn't he?
Yeah.
Went to a life of crime in this.
Yeah. The things you do once you leave fucking SPD.
Yeah. It's really weird to call that entire place a nation. Does that then mean that every citizen within that place is a criminal?
It's the Australia of Terra, yeah. I do think that there's like staff that work there too.
Sure.
Because we saw people in like purple robes and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I think it is comprised mostly of criminals. Yeah.
It's very Arkham City. Yeah. Did anyone have any sort of final thoughts before we wrapped up?
My ADHD kicked in, and I've been watching Transformers for the past 25 minutes. So I'm good.
No,
I'm good. I said what I wanted to say.
Yeah,
I fucking loved it. Said my
piece.
No, it was good. No notes.
No notes.
All right, cool. I guess that's it for our show. We've been here for almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah, this was a rager.
A rager.
An hour longer than we usually go. Yeah, see, there is the rager right there.
Oh God, Corey, watch out! It's the perfect flop forward too.
Yeah,
he looks like a mannequin,
and his shirt's even red. So it, like, if you look at it quick, you almost could pretend it's the same person because like the colors are at least similar enough.
Like, I don't get it.
I had to add in the red in post. Yeah.
I had to post for something as stupid as this.
Yeah, man, it has to. You got to get continuity between scenes. I also made sure there was still the spotlight on the dude falling. I put a lot of work into this. All right. Play us out or whatever.
Play us out.
I didn't know if we were doing any other clips. But yeah, everyone, thanks for joining us. Hopefully you enjoyed this extra long episode. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.